So basically, Kirchhoff's rule is very simple. We already know about that idea, but we just need to write in proper form that is given by the rule. So basically, there are two rules. So basically, the first law is related to electric current. So we also used to write KCL. So in short, we used to write KCL sometimes, or we used to say KCL during discussion. It means Kirchhoff's current law, right? So basically, first law is related to electric current because the name is Kirchhoff's first law, and to remember the first law, we used to write KCL in short form to remember that this first law is related to electric current. And according to this KCL law, Kirchhoff's current law, it is very simple. Let's suppose if we consider statement, the total current entering a point in a circuit is equal to total current coming out of that point. So let's suppose if we consider any specific point and that point works like a junction, it means different flow of electric current are connected and passing through one specific point. So for example, we have multiple directions given, like one is coming from left hand side, one is from the top, random angle, and now these are the values of electric current moving towards a specific point. So let's suppose this is I1, this is I2. And now if we talk about the values of electric current moving outward, so let's suppose one will move in this direction, I5, or let's suppose someone. So you can you right now for this law, we are making any random directions just to consider how to write equation for KCL. So this is I3, I4, I5. So basically the three value of electric current is moving outward, and two directions and two values of electric current is like coming inwards or towards the point. So three are moving away from the point, two are moving towards the point. So it means the total input of the current is equals to the total output of the current, right? So this is the simple concept of KCL, Kirchhoff's current law. And from this diagram, we can make equation. For example, sum of all input current is equals to sum of all output current. So input current is I1 plus I2 only, but output current is equals to Then we can also say that we are talking about electric current. So in electric current is rate of flow of charges. So in another words, we can say this law is related to law of conservation of charges. So it is related to the law of charges. So basically all charges remains conserved in this KCL law, according to KCL law. So this is the first scenario. This is the first law of Kirchhoff's. And in the second, definitely second one is for potential difference. And Kirchhoff's second law is related to the potential difference. Or in short, we can say KVL, voltage law, Kirchhoff's voltage law. And the statement is almost like the same, but only we need to replace current with voltage. So basically the sum of all the EMFs, basically if we are using two, three, four different sources of voltages, so the sum of all the EMFs is equals to the sum all the potential drops in a loop. So basically, voltage is provided by the sources, and let's suppose if we have two, three, four, or different type of sources available. So with the help of those sources, we can easily identify that what will be the direction of flow of charges from that sources, and we can make a loop. For example, if we consider a diagram, and in diagram we have, let's suppose, three different sources. So let's suppose starting from the first one, this is the first source, and it is connected to another source like this, and further this one is connected to resistor and with another resistor. But now we got another source over here in this form, and finally one more resistor. So now circuit is completed. So in this whole diagram, we have one source. Let's suppose E1. This is E2. This is E3. So in this scenario, we know that positive, negative sides are not same for all the sources, because from the first source, current is moving in this direction. So direction of positive will allow to flow the current from positive to negative because of conventional flow of electric current. And the direction of current in downward, and with the help of E2 is also supporting the flow that is carried out from the first source in this direction. But the problem with E3 is not following the same procedure. It allows to flow current in opposite direction. So this is opposing. But according to the magnitude, because now we got opposite direction, but according to the magnitude, we know E1, E2 is like a greater potential difference sources or EMF as compared to E3, because E3 is single cell, E1, E2 are double cells, right? So magnitude wise, E1, E2 combined, they are greater than E3, but direction wise, they are not same, they are opposite. So in this whole scenario, we can say that sum of all EMF must be equals to sum of all potential difference. And let's suppose if we want to write down the values, so E1 plus E2, they are supporting each other, but E3 is not supporting. So minus E3 because of opposite direction. And finally, the values of potential difference will be IR, IR, and IR like this. So in this whole circuit, we are talking about a loop. So if you want to draw a loop in this diagram, so that loop will be in this way, starting from left to right. Okay, because main EMF following this direction. If we are getting current from the opposite direction, so loop will be in opposite form, in opposite pattern. Okay. So this is the concept of Kirchhoff's second law, KVL. So in short, we got equation E1 plus E2 minus E3 is equals to 3IR. And now we are talking about potential difference and EMF, and potential difference or EMF is equals to, or they gives you the same idea of energy conversion per unit charge. So just like KCL, we mentioned it is related to the law of conservation of charges. For KVL, we can say it is the law of conservation of energy. Because in potential difference and EMF, we are actually working out with energy per unit charge. So it is related to law of conservation of energy. So this is the concept of Kirchhoff's first and second law. And the next or the last topic in this chapter is related to potentiometer. Potentiometer is like variable voltage, uh, a component that gives you a variable voltage. For example, in our daily life, in like modern days, we are using regulators to increase or decrease the speed of the fans. So there is a simple knob. We just rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise, and that will increase or decrease the quantity whatever we are using. But like in old setups or like in labs, how to consider the potentiometer in physical form and how to solve the questions and how to draw the diagram for that potentiometer. So basically, now in new time, in new era, we are using that advanced form. in the form of knob. We just rotate to increase or decrease the value, but in labs previously, we are not working like the same. And still in the lab, if we want to test potentiometer, so we used to test with this setup. So according to this setup, potentiometer. So first of all, in potentiometer, we required a source. So there is a positive and negative terminal, and then it is connected with. And we have also one resistor connected for safety purpose. So it will control the value of current. And the other side, so this is the diagram basically. And in this diagram, we have now two terminals, one on left hand side, one on right hand side. So between this terminal, we are going to use a ruler to measure the exact value. Like this. So basically, this is the ruler given. So we are using rulers. So with the help of the ruler, we can exactly measure the length, what length we are using right now. And now for potentiometer, like to make a variable values, we required one more terminal. So we can move from one end to the other end. So voltmeter is connected over here. Voltmeter always connects in parallel to measure the voltage. And this point is, so this point is free basically, and this point is movable. So we can move this second terminal at any specific point from left to right side. And on left side, we consider point X. And on right side, we consider this point as Y. And let's suppose this is the center point T. This is the center point T. So we can easily move this second terminal from X to Y in any direction at any point, because this is a movable junction. And let's suppose in this whole setup, if we are using a value of 10 volts, so let's suppose EMF is equals to 10 volts. So on left hand side, if we consider at point X, so at point X, voltage is 0, as X is equals to 0. Because if we move this point or this movable junction to the X, so there is no length covered in this whole setup. So when there is no length covered by this movable junction, so when length is zero, so definitely voltage in the output is also equals to zero. But let's suppose if we move this junction to the right hand side at point Y, so the maximum length on the ruler is covered by this movable junction. So at point Y, voltage will be equals to voltage between point X and Y. So it depends upon the setup, what type of setup we are using, what are the values given in the setup. Because this time maximum length covered and this total length is equals to capital L, for suppose the length of this ruler is capital L, for example, like this. So that's why X is equals to capital L, because we move maximum displacement from point X to point Y. So we cover maximum length. And when we are moving point between these X and Y terminals, so that can be represented by like a displacement when we are moving this point of the junction. So in simple words, we can say when we move this point from X to Y, so voltmeter reading increases. So when this junction moved from X to Y, so the readings of the voltmeter increases. Voltmeter reading increases because resistance is directly proportional to the length. Because if we consider maximum length, so we will get maximum voltage. And logic is very simple, because voltage and resistance are directly proportional, and we are using ohmic materials, like we are not using any non-ohmic material in this whole setup. So resistance is directly proportional to the length, and V also depends upon resistance directly. So if we are increasing the value of length, so definitely we are increasing the value of R, and it will gives you greater voltage. So that's why from X to Y, the value of the length increases and resistance increases, and final voltage will also be greater. So basically this movable junction or this wire works like a variable resistor. So the wire acts as a variable resistor, and voltage across the length of the wire considered depends upon the length considered. So basically, with the help of the length in practical scenario, we can also perform this setup practically because it is very simple setup. We just need to take one 10-volt battery or power supply, one resistor, and one point connected on one side and the other on the other side. And there is a gap between these 2 points, X and Y. There is like a simple wooden meter rule connected because wood is a bad conductor, it is insulator, so it will not conduct electricity. And there is a wire between point X and Y connected. So on that wire, when we place this movable junction, so it will consider that a specific length that we choose on the ruler. And with the help of that length, it identifies the value of resistance and then gives you the value of voltmeter or the voltage in the voltmeter, right? So length actually depends upon voltage between X and Y, and the value of X, the value of displacement basically, it gives you some specific value of the voltage. So this is the scenario for a potentiometer. And let's suppose if we replace this voltmeter with a lamp, like a filament lamp. So for example, if we replace this voltmeter with a lamp and whole setup remains the same, so basically that lamp will gives you output in the form of dim or bright light. For example, if voltage is low, so the brightness of the lamp or that filament lamp is also low. So gives you a dim light. But for example, if voltage is high, so it will give you a bright light output. So if you replace it with a lamp, so then we can identify the voltage with the help of the intensity of the light. Okay. Just like we mentioned X at point X initially, voltage is zero. So it means lamp remains turned off. But for example, if we move this junction to point Y and we are getting maximum voltage between X and Y, so it will give you the maximum brightness of the lamp also. So it works like this. It depends upon the factor, what type of factor we are using, and then we can easily identify the rest of the values. So this is the concept of potentiometer. And when we solve questions, so we will get idea how to apply these ideas on the given question in the circuits. Okay. Any question in these two topics that we discussed?
No.
Okay, if we consider some MCQs today, because we already solved theory questions and we observe that theory questions are mostly very straightforward to the circuit questions. And let's suppose if we consider some MCQs questions related to electricity. So let's see, are those questions easy to solve or not? We pass papers. Okay, starting from question number 30. In question number 30, which charge can be carried by a charge carrier? Charge carrier, we know yesterday we also discussed in the question that it is about electron, because in our whole examples we are using electron as a charge carrier. But there are different values given. So which value you think that is related to, or that will give you the value of a charge carrier? And if you consider elementary charge value, option A, okay. So the value of elementary charge that is given in the paper also on the top. So this is the value for elementary charge electron. So first value is less than 1.6. So definitely A is not possible. And what about B, C, and D? If you can identify that which option is possible. Okay, basically, if you divide each option with 1.6 exponent minus 19, so it will gives you idea that either you are getting a complete specific number of charge or not. For example, in option B, 4 exponent minus 19 divided by 1.6 exponent minus 19. So we are getting answer 2.5. So it is equals to 2.5 electrons. So this is also not possible because charge is 1.6 exponent minus 19 and this is elementary. So we cannot break this charge into half, quarter, etc. So it must be a round off value. So 4.8 exponent minus 19 or just 4.8 divided by 1.6, it gives you value 3 times the charge. So this is possible. And the last option 9.1 divided by 1.6. Again, it is in decimals 5.68. This is also not possible, right? So only option C is the value of the charge that is carried by a charge carrier because it gives you a proper round of value of 3 electrons. Question number 31. A resistance of resistance capital R is connected across a cell of EMF capital E and negligible internal resistance. Which single change to the circuit would lead to the largest increase in the power? Single change, largest increase in the power dissipated in the resistor. So which factor do you think that will change or that will make the greatest change in power dissipation through the resistor? And if we consider all the formula, so these equation will help you to relate all the factors easily. So one by one, if you check the factors, so in the first factor, if we double the value of EMF, like the voltage in short, and we are talking about resistors, so definitely we are not going to use this formula because it does not consist of resistance. Um, Doubling the value of E, it means we have to use this last formula V square over R. So double means 4 times because it is V square. V square means E square. It is equals to 4 times the power. So it is increasing 4 times the power because the square of 2 will be equals to 4. Rest of the values are same because resistance is not changing. And option B, doubling the value of R. Now resistance is changing. And according to the formula, we know power is inversely proportional to the value of R. So if we increase the value of R, so definitely power decreases. So it means that power decreases in second option. This is not possible. And then half the value of E. Again, half means we need to square half. Definitely it will be less than option A. And option D, half the value of R. So half the value of R means 1 divided by zero point 0.5. It is equals to 2. So power will be 2 times. So it means option A is the best choice because it gives you the greatest change or the largest increase in the power dissipation in the resistor, right? So we just need to relate with the basic idea of the power formula with respect to resistance. Okay, next question. Question 32. An electrical cable is made up of one thick strand of copper wire. So in the diagram, you can see in the center, there is a thick strand of cross-sectional area 4 times A, and it is surrounded by 8 thin strands of copper wire. Just it is shown in the diagram. There are 8 small circles also. That gives you the concept of 8 thin wires in the surrounding. So now total all 9 strands of wire are connected in parallel. So they are connected in parallel especially, and a cross section of the cable is shown. Each thin strand of wire has a cross sectional area A and length capital L. But the thick strand of wire has cross sectional area 4 times A, but length is same. And the cable has a total resistance R. So we don't know about the exact value, only it is equals to capital R, which expression gives the resistivity of the copper. So we need to show the equation for resistivity from the given option. That resistivity is equals to which quantity. So basically the concept of resistivity is very simple. We know that resistivity formula can be derived from this one. R is equals to, because this is the only formula for resistivity, Ra over L. So basically, in question it is mentioned an electrical cable is made up of one thick strand of copper wire and it is surrounded by 8. So basically this is a whole wire basically. This is a whole electrical cable wire, and there are different types of cross-sectional area of wires are connected. So if we consider this whole setup as a single wire, so the total area is equals to 4, and there are 8 thin wires. So 8 total area is equals to 4A plus 8A, because this 4 is for thick wire. That is only one. This 8 because of there are 8 thin wires, and each wire has an area of capital A. So A plus A plus A, 8 times equals to 8 times A. And according to the formula, resistivity is equals to RA over L. So according to this option, D is the right answer. 12 AR over capital L. Simple. Question number 33 is related to thermistor. So a car has sensors for detecting the light intensity and temperature of its environment. So basically, car sensor is actually detecting light intensity and temperature of its environment. And sensors make use of LDR and thermistor because for light we required LDR and for temperature we required thermistor. So the car moves from a warm and dark environment into a cold and bright environment. So what are the changes to the resistance of the LDR and thermistor? So what are the changes to the resistance of LDR and thermistor? Option B, okay. So in option B, resistance of LDR increases, resistance of thermistor decreases. Okay. Because we are moving from warm to cool, so it means temperature decreases, resistance increases, and for bright environment, intensity increase, resistance decrease. For thermistor, resistance increases, and for LDR, it will decrease. So for thermistor, resistance must increase because we are moving towards the cold environment. Increase and decrease. Option C. Question number 34. A student assembles the circuit shown. Which law describes the state of the two lamps? So basically, diodes are connected in the circuit. So we need to identify which lamp will turn on and which lamp will turn off according to the setup. Because diode only allows the current to flow in one direction. So current starts to flow from this direction. So it can easily pass through the first one. And in the second diagram, means in the second loop it passes through the first diode, but it will not travel through this one because it is oppositely connected, so it will not allow to flow current. So both lamp will be on because one path is blocked, but from the other path current can easily pass through the lamp. Okay, so one path is blocked, but from the other path we can easily pass the charges through the lamp. And basically this diode is unnecessary also because there is only two components, so two path for the current is enough. Third one is not required, so this is like unnecessary type of the diode connected in the circuit. So both will turn on, right? Because we can identify that current can easily flow from both terminals. Question number 35, Kirchhoff's first law is a consequence of the conservation of which quantity? So just like we discussed in first law, that is related to the current law, and current law means law of conservation of charges. In second, it is related to energy. Okay, question number 36. It is related to the Kirchhoff's rule. Three identical cells, each have EMF, E and negligible internal resistance. The cells are connected to three identical resistors, each of resistance capital R. So what is the potential difference across one of the resistors? So we need to only mention the potential difference across one of the resistor. So from this diagram, we know that current is passing from this direction, then in forward direction. But from the third one, it will be opposite. This will be negative. So it means that again we will get the same type of equation E plus E minus E because only one source is opposite, other two are the same, equals to 3 times the V. So it means that they are asking about the potential difference across one of the resistor. So E plus E minus E is equals to 3E. Oh, sorry, 3V. So you can see if we cancel out these values of E, so E is equals to 3V, simple. Or finally, V is equals to E over 3. So finally, option B is the right answer. Okay, question number 37 is related to potentiometer. In the potentiometer circuit shown, the reading on the ammeter is 0. So ammeter shows 0 reading. The LDR is then covered. So LDR covered means low intensity of light. An ammeter gives a non-zero reading because when intensity decreases, resistance increases, voltage also increases. So for this LDR, basically, resistance increases, voltage increases. And which change could return the ammeter reading to zero. So if we want that reading zero again, so what change we need to make in this diagram or in this setup to keep that value zero again? And we know that it is depending upon this length. So this length gives you the value of the voltage. So option A, decreasing the supply voltage or increasing the supply voltage, moving the sliding contact to the left and moving the sliding contact to the right. So according to the potentiometer topic, we know that if we move towards left, so voltage decreases and eventually it becomes zero when we reach point X. And if we move towards point Y, so length increases, and when length increases, so definitely the final value also starts to increase. So that's why option C is the right choice, moving the sliding contact to the left. Because when we move to the left, so it starts to reach a specific point over here, that is X. And finally, it will gives you a zero value. Because from right hand side, if you observe from the side of thermistor, you can see length is high. So we need to make it zero. So that will give you answer complete zero again, right? So these are some questions of MCQs from 23 past paper from the new syllabus also. And the rest of the questions are from the particle, only 3 questions. So total, we started from 30. So there are 8 questions from electricity chapter in this paper. And also for the waves, 29, starting from question 20. So 10 questions. So 10 and almost like 9. So almost 50% of the paper is from waves and electricity section. And if we include particle physics also, and if we include first chapter also, so we can easily cover up like 25 MCQs maximum or 23 MCQs from a single paper. So more than 50% we can easily cover from waves, electricity and particle only. And the rest of the chapters are the rest of the 40-50% of the paper, or either it is theory or MCQs. Okay.